Isn't it possible that the two of you conspired to kill Mr. Williams for the insurance?
No, that's not true. We didn't know about the insurance. I did it to save my mother, that's all. You've got to believe me.
She has told you the truth, Sergeant.
Well, in light of the evidence, I've no choice but to ask you to accompany me to the station.
Come on, my darling. I'm afraid we have a lot to face yet.
Divide this one up now.
You don't get much for 200, do you?
It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Same time next week?
We'll be waiting.
As long as you have the cash.
We always do, don't we?
See you.
Bye. Stay right where you are, folks. Just been busted.
Didn't know you were working night shift?
What? Oh, I'm not. We're in the middle of spring cleaning, which mostly means shifting everything around so people can't find them again.
Yes, I see what you mean. Where's the time book?
Over there. Yeah. Wentworth. Oh, can't you keep them there till tomorrow? All right. I'll keep the light on. 2 more customers.
Oh, well, no respect for normal working hours, these criminal types. We'll see you. Think of the overtime.
Wentworth. Just hold on, please. Paul? Are you still here?
Who is it?
We're just trying to locate him. Who's calling, please? I see. Just hold on, please. There's Sergeant City Watch House. Well, probably one of your parolees. You know, no respect for normal working hours.
Yes, it's the lousy example we set them. Read. When was this? I'll be right over there. Yes, I know where it is.
Paul, is everything...
All right, sign here, miss.
Dad. Dad, they're making a mistake.
Constable.
Sergeant, has my son been charged yet?
Which one is your son, sir?
Over there in the jeans.
Not formally, no, sir. Just about to put him through the book.
And when you put him through the book, what will the charge be?
Charge,
Oh, all right, the charges.
Dad, please. They've got it all wrong. Look, I didn't know anything about any drugs.
Drugs?
Possession of, use of, trafficking in.
Honest, Dad, I didn't really.
All right, you don't have to say any more. Have you told him his rights?
Yes, sir.
And we'll be able to apply for bail immediately?
Just as soon as
Oh, no. As soon as you put him through the book. All right, can we get on with it and get home?
I don't want you to sign here. Here. Just stand on the white line, please. I want you to stand over here. Yes. And you? Here, please. Caroline Simpson, you have been charged with the murder of one Brian Williams, and you are to be held in this place until a date has been set down for hearing of your case. Are you aware of your rights and privileges under the law?
Yes, I'm aware of all that.
Vivian Williams, you are charged with being an accessory to murder both before and after the fact. Are you aware of your rights and privileges under the law?
Oh, look, for God's sake, can't you see she's had enough?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Simpson, but we must go through the formalities and I must have an answer.
Mum, just say yes.
Yes.
You are both allowed to make one phone call or send a telegram, the cost of which must be borne by yourselves. Now, do you wish to send a...
She's sick.
I think we can dispense with the rest of it. Will you follow me, please? All right, this is the shower block. Towels are over there. I want you both to undress.
Where's the doctor?
Sorry, there's no doctor on staff.
Well, you must have a nurse. Someone.
Afraid not. Not 24 hours.
Well, that's ridiculous. Look, she's sick. Can't you get her out of here to a hospital?
I'm sorry, that's not possible. If she's no better by morning, I'll call a doctor.
She needs a doctor now.
Mrs. Simpson, we're doing everything we can for your mother. She'll be kept here under observation all the time. If there's any deterioration in her condition, a doctor will be called, I promise you.
She'll be all right.
What about me?
You'll be kept in solitary confinement until the morning.
Can't I stay here with my mother?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes, I am sorry, Mrs. Simpson, but there are regulations and procedures.
She needs me.
I'm afraid it's not possible. Technically, you shouldn't be here now. Now, come along.
Take care of her.
And don't come the wall of silence treatment with me, pal. I'm not in the mood for it. You've been gone less than 48 hours and already I've got to come out and bail you out on drug charges.
Nobody asked you to. I didn't.
Oh, I see. So tomorrow you're going to face up to the court and take what's coming, right?
Wrong. Tomorrow I'm going to go into court and tell the truth about what happened, and hopefully I'll get the same benefit of the doubt that you'd give any one of your crims.
The doubt being that it's your word against the police.
Yeah, it looks like that.
You were in the house when it was busted.
Well, yeah, but
All right, tell me about it.
there's nothing to tell. We were just sitting round.
You were just sitting around.
Well, there was nothing else
All
to
right,
do.
all right. You were sitting around. Then what happened?
When this Sharon bird comes in. I'd never met her before, and I was introduced to her, and then she started talking to a
What
couple
did
of
she
the
say?
others. I don't know. I wasn't listening.
What happened then?
Well, then there were cops coming from everywhere, yelling something about being busted. I didn't know what they were talking about. You don't believe me, do you? Even if I swore on a stack of Bibles, you wouldn't believe me.
I believe you.
Well, then why the third degree?
That's tame to what you could come up against in court tomorrow. It's all very well for me to accept your explanations of what happened. It's the magistrate we've got to convince.
We?
Yeah, we. Look, I don't have much influence in this town, but I intend to do everything I can to convince the magistrate that you're innocent. Okay?
Okay.
Well, I could use a hot drink. What about you?
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Look, Dad, I don't think we can expect any backup from the others in this.
We won't even ask for it. When the time comes, if you have to, just stand up there and tell the truth as you know it. And forget about the others. We'll do this on our own.
Stand over there, will you?
Not another one.
It's one of a bunch, apparently. The rest managed to raise bail. Right, make this the last one, will you? Well, for tonight, anyway. How's Mrs. Williams?
Asleep now. Mrs. Barry's keeping an eye on her.
Good. Sister can give them their medicals in the morning.
What's this one in for?
Would you believe drug trafficking?
You're getting younger every day.
Excuse me, but could you tell me what's going to happen to me?
Well, you're being held until tomorrow when you go before the magistrate. Didn't you apply for bail?
Yes.
Well, what happened?
My sister was the only person I could think of to call. She just doesn't have that kind of money. Not on hand, anyway.
I see. Well, what is it?
I'm frightened. I don't want to be locked away. Please.
Oh, come along. Sit down over here. It's not that bad, you know.
But I don't want to be locked away, please. Can't I just stay here for the night? Please.
Just get about your business, Smith.
I couldn't sleep last night for all the noise.
You'd sleep all right if you had a conscience.
Ah, this is the one that's been doing all the whipping and wailing. Well, either Wonky Warner's back or she's been given crying lessons on the outside.
Cut it out, Smith. Okay, you. Out. Well, come on. You're going to have to get used to jumping to it when you're told. You're going to be with us for some time, I'd say.
What do you mean? I'm due in court this morning.
Don't worry, you'll get there. Your police escort is waiting in reception.
Good. Then that'll be the last you'll see of me.
Don't count on it. From what I heard, they busted you with the goods. Money changing hands? You're as good as gone.
My sister will raise bail for me. She'll make sure I get off the charges.
She must be a very wealthy lady, your sister. She'd need state financing to get you off. Sign here.
Hello, Wentworth.
Thanks.
Yes.
See you at lunch.
I'll pass on the message. That was Mr. Reed.
Who?
Mr. Reed. He won't be until later this morning. He sounded funny.
What do you mean, funny?
Worried.
Probably running around after some parolee, giving them the kid glove treatment, and it backfired on him. Just like this project he's getting going for the women here will backfire on him. Do-gooder academics. And when it comes to the crunch, we are the patsies who have to straighten out their foul-ups for the little good old-fashioned discipline, which is all that's needed in the first place.
I hope you appreciate, Mr. Reed, that it is not common practice to have committal proceedings heard in chambers.
Yes, I know, sir, and I'm most grateful.
Sit down, gentlemen.
Sir, it's obvious that Mr. Reed's son is heavily implicated in this case, and I believe he should go to trial on the charges as they stand.
I'm aware that the prosecutor has evidence to support that, sir. However, I'm sure we're all agreed that the evidence is, to a very large extent, if not wholly, circumstantial. I accept that my son was found on premises where it's alleged an illegal transaction in drugs was taking place. However, there are certain circumstances which took place prior to my son's arrest, and which I believe throw an entirely different light on this matter.
Carry on, Mr. Reed.
Some time ago, my wife passed away in Adelaide. Following her death, I decided to move interstate to get over my loss. I now realize that that was perhaps not the best thing to do for my son. He had his friends in Adelaide. A move to a new city meant that he had to seek out and establish new friendships. This placed added stress on our relationship, and a couple of days ago, after a very heated argument at home, my son walked out.
So, how'd you manage to convince him?
With a bit of fast, bloody talking. Tell you what, I'd hate to meet that magistrate across a poker table. Showed no reaction whatsoever. So then I went into some detail about my work with young offenders, the drug scene, all of that. And the fact that as my son, you'd have some idea of what happens to young people who get involved in drugs. The constant fear of being found out, the battle for supplies, the busts, rejection by society, withdrawals, all of that. Anyway, the magistrate finally accepted my assurance that there was no way you'd be involved in drugs, either as a pusher or a user.
Thanks, Dad.
Of course, I also had to give an assurance that you'd stay out of trouble and not mix with undesirables. And that means you'll be coming home.
Fair enough.
Well, it beats being in the slammer, which is where your friends are heading right now. Oh, by the way, you'll be called as a witness when their case comes up.
Do I have to go?
I'm afraid so. And I'm afraid I have to go, otherwise we'll both be heading north looking for a job.
Well, couldn't you take the rest of the day off? I mean, it's nearly lunchtime. We could have a meal or something.
Sorry, mate. There's work to be done. Pay for the coffee, buy yourself some lunch. I'll see you at home tonight.
Yeah, sure.
Well, well. What did I say? Back in time for lunch. That's the bell. Have you eaten?
I'm not hungry.
Well, you can take this opportunity to get acquainted with the other inmates. Come on.
Get to the back of the bloody queue. There's people been here since the bell.
Quieten down, the lot of you. This is Sharon Gilmore. She's a newcomer to Wentworth. She hasn't eaten since yesterday, so I'm sure you won't mind if she jumps the queue.
Oh, good, I'm not sure we'll be doing her any favours. I mean, who could eat that swill on an empty stomach?
Get yourself a plate.
Yeah, love, I'll stick with you so I can catch you when you keel over. What are you in for, Sharon?
I'm only on remand, 10 days.
Yeah, what did they charge you with?
I got busted for drugs.
Pushing or using?
Using? Do I look that stupid?
No, love, you don't. You look quite proud, actually. And it's bright bastards like you that get stupid, innocent little bastards.
Get out of my way! Don't let her go! Get back, Smith! Break it up! Now get back to your places, all of you!
Just you wait, you bitch! You're gonna wish you'd never been born!
Welcome to Wentworth.
This should take the sting out. Oh, good. It's true. This is going to take the sting out of you.
Sorry. Look, is she going to live or die or what?
She'll live.
I'll have to report this to Mrs. Davidson. Don't let Smith out of your sight. I'll send someone to collect her.
Is this going to need plastic surgery or what?
I shouldn't think so. It'll be red for a few days, but it'll fade.
Oh, just a thought. I might have ended up looking like Sophia Loren. Oh, well. Oh. Yeah, what's that?
Oh, Mrs. Williams. How are you feeling now, Mrs. Williams?
A little unsteady, actually.
Oh, here, love, you all right? Lean on me. You're new here, aren't you? What are you in for? Yeah, well, let me guess.
Oh, there's an election room here.
Shoplifting, I'd
Mrs.
say.
Williams is ready
Yeah,
to
I
be
reckon
taken
that's
to
it.
solitary.
Shoplifting.
Okay, when ready, fine.
Solitary? Good, what'd you do? Bump off your old man?
Please, couldn't I wait in the other room?
Yes, of course.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do nothing.
Did you see Smith actually strike this young woman?
Well, no, not exactly. I was standing...
But she did raise a hand to me. She would have hit me if I hadn't stopped.
Gilmore, I am addressing my questions to Miss Bennett for the moment. You'll get your chance later. Well?
No, Smith didn't strike her, but as she said...
Thank you, Miss Bennett. That will be all. Let me have your written report as soon as possible.
Mrs. Davidson, I'm sure Smith started the whole thing by being deliberately aggressive and provocative. She ought to spend a few days in solitary.
Thank you for your advice, Miss Bennett. Now, I would like that report, if you don't mind. As for you, young lady, I am appalled at your arrogance and your general demeanour. You have been in Wentworth for less than 24 hours, and already your behaviour has brought you to my notice.
But she threatened me. Can't I even defend myself?
Your best defence is to stay away from Smith.
How?
Well, since you're only in here on remand, you won't have to work with the other women.
Suits me.
I'm sure it does. I shall also arrange for you to have your meals separately.
Why don't you just lock me up in my cell on bread and water?
That could be arranged.
Will I be allowed visitors from the outside?
Anyone in particular?
Yes, my sister, Judy Bryant.
Write it down there. Does she have a telephone number?
Yes.
Write that down as well. Then you can go to your cell. When Sister's finished with Smith, bring her in here.
This typewriter's an antique. Now, if B. Smith decided to take up typing again, they'll probably give her an IBM.
Hello, Mr. Reed.
Hi. Hello, Miss Bennett.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Reed. I'm afraid I owe you an apology. Huh? I've been telling everyone that you were employed here full-time.
I understand we had 3 new admissions last night. Do we have files on them?
Yes. They're in the filing cabinet where they're usually kept. You'll find them under new admissions, that drawer.
There's only 2 here, Simpson and Williams.
Oh, I'm afraid I owe you another apology, Mr. Reed. Sharon Gilmore, just been bringing it up to date.
Thank you.
Seems we have an interest in Miss Gilmore.
And when Gilmore told you she had been arrested on drug charges, you became violent.
No!
I am told that you did.
Oh, I suppose it's Miss Bennett's version. If you asked me, she set the whole thing up.
Are you suggesting she could have prevented the incident?
Well, she knows how I feel about drugs.
And that you behave with monotonous predictability and that you react violently.
I might have called her a few names. I didn't hit her.
What you mean is you didn't get a chance because she got in first.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I would have hit her. You know how I feel about pushers.
I know how you feel about pushers, and you know how the law feels about pushers. If Sharon Gilmore is found guilty of the charges against her, she will be punished by the law and not by you. I have tried everything I know to get through to you, and nothing seems to penetrate. Your record here is absolutely appalling.
Someone's got to keep the screws in their toes.
Oh, really, Smith, you don't mean that. You're an intelligent woman. You have qualities of leadership. The other inmates respect you. If you would only cooperate, it would make life so much easier.
Oh, yeah, for you, maybe. What about me? Will I get out of here any sooner?
I won't insult your intelligence by saying it would. Your record to date has negated any chance you may have had of remissions. You will probably serve your full sentence. But does it have to be a constant battle?
Helps to pass the time.
And you have plenty of that, about another 10 years. Then what?
I'll be 10 years older.
But no wiser.
Just what are we waiting for?
The governor wants to see you.
Oh. Well, that's good, because I want to see him. About my mother. Is she all right?
Yes. Yes, she seems much better this morning. And the governor's a woman, Mrs. Davidson. Caroline Simpson to see you, Mrs. Davidson.
Bring her in, please, Mrs. Jackson.
This way.
Come in, Mrs. Simpson. Please sit down.
I prefer to stand, thank you.
As you wish. You were admitted to Wentworth yesterday evening and have been in solitary confinement since that time.
That's correct.
You'll be pleased to know you'll be released from solitary tomorrow morning, and you will be permitted to move around the prison and mix with the other inmates if you wish.
And my mother? Will we be permitted to occupy the same room?
We shall see if that can be arranged. You will also have access to the library and the garden at certain times of the day, and will be free to call upon our social worker, Mr. Reed. You will find him most helpful in assisting you to adjust to life on the inside, and also in making contact for you with people on the outside, family, legal advisors, that sort of thing.
Can he also put me in contact with the minister responsible for state prisons and the welfare of prisoners?
Why?
I wish to lodge a formal complaint.
I see. Do you think you have been mistreated since you've been here?
Ask her. Ask her about my mother and the state she was in last night. Ask her whether I was allowed to stay with my mother when she needed me. Go on, ask her.
I must confess that when Mrs. Williams was
It's all right, Mrs. Jackson. I have already read your report, and it seemed to me you acted in a sensible and proper manner.
Mrs. Davidson, we're talking about my mother's health and well-being. There was neither a doctor nor even a nurse on duty.
Yes, it is most unfortunate, but...
Unfortunate? I begged this woman. I pleaded with her to get a doctor.
Mrs. Simpson, let us get one thing straight. This woman, as you call her, is a senior officer at Wentworth who commands the utmost respect from both the inmates and the rest of the staff here. I am confident that she would have done all that was necessary under the circumstances. And may I remind you that whilst you are in Wentworth, you will be expected to abide by the rules and regulations of this institution. Now, I suggest you go back to your cell and consider your true status here.
Can I help you?
I hope so. I've come to see Sharon Gilmore.
She's on remand, isn't she?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, here we are. Are you a relative?
Yeah, I'm her sister.
Name?
Bryant?
Judy Bryant.
That's right.
Yes, that's okay. I'm Mr. Fletcher, visitor for Sharon Gilmore. It's been approved.
Right. Name, please.
Bryant? Judy Bryant?
Wait here, please.
I thought this was a woman's prison.
It is.
Well, what's he doing here?
He's the deputy governor.
Who do you think you're going to impress?
Never know who might drop in.
You're expecting your boyfriend?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm expecting my sister.
Then why the pedicure?
Just told you, you never know.
I know. You've got an appointment with Paul Reed.
Who?
Paul Reed, our social worker.
Oh.
I thought you knew him. He seems to be taking an interest in you.
Does he now? I've never heard of any Paul Reed. I know Tony Reed. Believe me, he's no social worker.
Tony Reed. R-E-I-D, R-E-E-D, or R-E-A-D?
How the hell should I know?
Gilmore, you got a visitor?
Oh. Look at that. Didn't even tell me to jump to it, and I jumped. Must be learning.
How's it going, Einstein? Keep lugging bundles like that around, you're going to be dropping your own.
Oh, knock it off. I'm not going to have my baby in here. You can bet on that.
Oh, God's truth, not like that. Come on, let me do it.
How you feeling,
Oh,
Dee?
not bad. This bloody steam's not helping, though.
You're going to get this Sharon Sheila, then, for what she done to you?
Nah, couldn't be bothered.
You gone soft or something?
No, got more important things to do, that's all. Besides, she's the kind of stupid tart that's always going to be getting people's backs up. I'll just let someone else take care of her for me.
You mean you're just going to let her get away with it?
Well, how should I know? Paul Reed doesn't discuss his personal life with me.
But surely he's mentioned his son.
Oh, yes, he has. What do you want to know?
Just curious. And his son's name is Tony?
Oh, I don't know. Well, yes, I think it is. Look, if that's all you want to know, I've got work to do.
Why didn't you bail me out? How do you think I felt seeing the rest of them walk out of there? And I'm sent to this stinking joint.
Do you have any idea how much it would cost? Now, where am I going to get that kind of money? Anyhow, it's for your own good.
What?
Don't get on your high horse, Sharon. I warned you, didn't I? I said to you, stay away from drugs. No, you have to get mixed up in it anyway. Well, now you know what can happen.
That's bloody charming. You're doing this to teach me a lesson, I suppose.
Sharon, you know that's...
Aren't you?
Look, you're only on remand. It's not going to do you any harm.
Do you know what goes on in a place like this? Do you?
Sharon,
Don't worry. I haven't been interfered with. Yet. So far, they've only tried to beat my brains out, that's all.
Don't worry, love. I'll see what I can do, huh? If only you'd listen to me in the first place.
You want to help me get out of here?
You know I do.
Take a lot of money.
How much?
I don't know. I've never needed a lawyer before.
Well, you'll have the best.
Good. Because the way things are shaping up, I'm going to need it.
Don't worry so much, love. I mean, already one of the kids that got busted with you had the charges dropped.
Who?
It was Reed somebody, I think.
Tony Reed?
Could be.
Was that R-E-A-D, R-E-E-D, or R-E-I-D?
That doesn't matter.
Might. It's the second time that name's come up today.
Well, well. Visit over so soon?
My sister's a fast talker.
Did you have good news, bad news, or was it just idle chatter?
Idle chatter mostly. Girls' talk. Which you wouldn't understand.
I don't know. Do you have a boyfriend, Sharon?
What's to you?
Just curious. First the toenails, now the hair. That's an awful lot of trouble to go to for nobody.
There's no law against a girl keeping up her appearance in here, is there? Anyway, there's always this social worker, Paul Reed. He might be worth checking out.
He's not bad. But his son would be more your type. From what I gather, he's closer to your age.
Really?
Yes. His name's Tony.
Tony Reed. No, I don't like the sound of it. Anyway, I prefer older men. Can you arrange an appointment for me to see Mr. Reed?
Why should I do that?
Come on. I know my rights in here. I'll get to see him eventually.
All right, but it'll have to be tomorrow. He's got his hands full today with other new admissions.
Oh, lucky Paul.
The state has brought these charges against you, and you in turn have the right to call upon the state for legal advice and representation. Do I take it then that you intend to conduct your own defense?
Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Reed.
Then at least let me arrange for you to see a solicitor. Barristers and all the rest of it can come later. Look, I can't force you to take legal advice. I have to have your consent.
A solicitor appointed and paid for by the state.
Yes.
I can imagine what sort of incompetence we'd get.
You get the best available, I can assure you of that.
Better than we could afford ourselves?
Oh, then you do have funds to fight this on your own.
Oh, haven't you heard? My father was heavily insured. Now that he's dead, we collect the loot. We can afford the absolute best.
I don't think the insurance company would pay out on the policy until after the trial, and even then, I doubt
Dear
very much.
me, don't tell me we've disposed of dear Daddy and we can't collect.
Oh, stop it, Carolyn, stop it, please.
Oh, it's all right, Mum. I'm sorry. Look, we won't talk about it anymore. I'm sorry, Mum.
Mr. Jackson, I think Mrs. Williams needs to rest.
Yes, of course.
You're aware of your rights here, I take it?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson let me know exactly where we stand.
I see.
I don't suppose there's any point in my asking if I can stay with my mother.
There's no need to. Arrangements have already been made for you and your mother to occupy the same cell.
Well, whom should one thank for this small act of humanitarianism?
Mrs. Davidson.
Smith, either get those friends of yours to move or step to one side.
Oh, come on, Mr. Jackson. We just want to welcome the 2 new inmates, don't we, girls?
Yeah.
Remember me? We met yesterday in the sick bay. You feeling any better, love?
Leave her alone, Bee.
Geez, you don't look better. Matter of fact, you look worse.
Bee?
No, I mean it. I reckon you would have called in a doc.
You must be new here.
You'd have to be joking.
I'm sorry, but surely if you've been here for some time, you'd know that the joke is the so-called medical facility.
Yeah, it's not too good since we lost our regular doc.
Oh, you actually had one once?
Yeah, of course we did. I've been battling with the brass ever since he left to try and get him replaced, haven't I, girls?
Obviously, you've been using the wrong tactics. Have you considered seeking political intervention?
What?
Never mind. It's probably beyond your powers of reasoning.
That's enough, Mrs. Simpson. Come along now.
Get her. Well, you've got to admit it, Bee. She sounds like she could be a bit of a stirrer.
Ah, let her stir all she wants.
Bee, you are getting soft.
Bull.
Yes, you are. You are angling for parole or something.
What are you on about?
So you might be aiming to team up with Doreen and Lucy. You miss them, don't you?
Get off it.
No, seriously, Bee.
Of course I miss them. But if you think I'm going soft, you silly bitch, you got about as many brains as Doreen.
Guess who?
I saw you in the mirror.
Ah. You all finished then?
We all have. The whistle went 5 minutes ago.
Oh, yes, I did. Can I walk you home?
Oh, well, I'm meeting a girlfriend.
Oh, you going out tonight, are you?
Oh, no, just for a cup of coffee and then home.
Oh, do you want to go out tonight?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on, Debbie. Hey, listen, are you into science fiction movies?
Depends. What's on?
2001: A Space Odyssey at the local. You seen it?
I missed it the last time.
Okay, great. I'll pick you up about 7:30.
Oh, no. I'll meet you there. After I've had coffee and that. Look, I better get going, so I'll see you at the pictures, okay?
Yeah, okay, I'll see you at the front about 7:30. Hey, and don't get lost this time.
And these two, I'm afraid, are a mystery to me.
Williams and Simpson.
Yes. Meg Jackson seems to agree with me. They don't seem to be the type to commit murder for financial gain.
Well, you've been around long enough to know there's no such thing as the type.
Ah, true, but there is murder and there is murder. On the one hand, you've got cold-blooded, calculated, premeditated murder for gain of one sort or another. Then you've got unpremeditated murder without any thought of gain.
Without reason.
No, not necessarily, but with mitigating circumstances.
Crime of passion.
Oh, yours is black, isn't it?
Mm. And this is the category you've put Vivian Williams and her daughter?
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough evidence to support that.
I know. And the only people who can reasonably shed any light on this are the two women themselves, but for some reason they're holding back.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, maybe they'll change their attitude once they've made their first appearance in court, realize the predicament they're in and what they're facing if they continue to hold back.
Oh, surely they realize that already.
No, I don't think they do. It's almost as if they're in a state of shock. Can't see beyond the immediate. There's got to be a key to all this, and I'd like to find out what it is.
Well, good hunting.
Well, how do I look? Bloody smashing. Do you think so? You don't think I look too overdressed? We're only going to the pictures.
You look $1 million. Doesn't matter where you're going. You're a bit keen on this young fella, aren't you?
Oh, he's all right.
Well, when am I going to get to meet him?
You?
Yeah. You ashamed of me?
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just that...
What?
Oh. Well, I'd like you to meet him, really. But that'd mean bringing him here, and then all the questions would start about what I'm doing here and everything, you know.
Yeah. I know. Listen, Dor, if this young Kevin fella is just a passing fancy, well, he's not worth worrying about. But if you're fair dinkum, well, he's going to find out something sooner or later. About you being inside, I mean.
Yeah, but what if he scrubs me off?
Well, he wasn't worth worrying about in the first place. Now, you buzz off out of here and go and enjoy yourself.
You going to be all right, Lizzie?
Of course. The others will be in soon. I've got all this lot to finish.
I thought you were never going to do housework again.
Ha! Somebody's got to do it. Besides, I'm going to be the B. Smith of the halfway house. I was thinking that if I could get into Rhonda's good books, I might get her to change her mind about the booze rules.
See you later.
See ya.
We'll have to do something about it eventually, Mum.
Yes, I know that, Carolyn, but what can we do?
We need someone, anyone, to testify.
Testify to what? That Brian Williams was a beast? That he used and abused his family?
Yes. It's our only hope, otherwise we'll be left in here to rot.
But he wasn't like that, Carolyn, not really. Now you know that. Oh, I wish there was some way I could get you out of here. I don't really care for myself, but if I could just get you out.
There must be a way out for both of us. Surely, in all those years, you must have told someone. Somebody must have seen the bruises. Well, what about Dr. Adrian? The number of times he's treated you for...
Dr. Adrian thought I was a very stupid woman who was accident-prone. You know, I told very convincing stories over the years. To the doctor, friends, relatives. So did you, for that matter. Michael! Now, Michael's the only one who knows.
No, Mum. Not Michael.
But, darling, he is still your husband, and he's the only one who knows about us.
No. I'd rather die than ask him for anything. Especially if it meant having him in court in public. He'd use it to make the whole mess of our marriage common knowledge, just to get back at me.
You really are your mother's daughter. You'd die rather than let the world know there was anything wrong. Brian was just the same. Well, we all were, weren't we, really? Too busy keeping up a front. Poor Brian.
At least let me pay for the taxi.
No, I didn't.
Oh, come on, it's
No,
not
I'm
fair
sorry.
on
Don't
you.
worry about it.
Just let me put in for some of it.
Well, look, I'll tell you what. Why don't I walk you to the door and we'll talk it over?
No. Everyone's asleep and I don't want to wake them up.
I'll tiptoe.
No, the taxi's still waiting and the meter's ticking over.
Okay. All right, well, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
I'll just wait here till you get to the door.
Oh, no. Go on, I'll be all right.
Okay, see you.
About time you got home. Did you have a good night?
Oh, great.
Good. You can tell me all about it in the morning.
Okay, because if I start now, we'll be talking all night.
You're a bit keen on this young fella, aren't you?
Looks like it.
Did you tell him?
What?
You know what.
No, I got him to drop me a few streets away.
Well, remember what I told you about being fair dinkum.
Oh, listen, Lizzie, don't nag me about it. Not tonight.
Okay, but he's gonna find out sooner or later.
Lost? Who's that?
Police.
No, I was just seeing my girlfriend home. Is there anything wrong with that?
Canterbury Road.
What's your name, son?
Kevin Burns. Look, what's going on?
Have you ever been in trouble with the police?
No, of course not.
Oh, well, get on home then. I don't want to see you hanging around here again.
What's wrong with hanging around here?
Look, there's been no offence, son. They're bad news.
Who?
Ex-cons, women offenders. You don't know, eh? Well, this is their halfway house. Their refuge.
Come in.
Mr. Reed, Sharon Gilmore to see you.
Good. Oh, come in, please. Sit down. And thank you, Miss Bennett.
I'll wait for her outside.
Well, you don't mind if I call you Sharon, do you?
Please yourself.
Good. My name is Paul Reed. And
I know who you are and what you are.
Fine, then you'll know that my job is to help people like yourself.
You're going to help me, all right, Mr. Reed. You're a man of influence, aren't you?
Well, I'm not too sure.
And you're going to influence me right out of this bloody place.
I'm sorry, I don't quite follow you.
Come on, Mr. Reed. You've got my file there. And I'm sure you must be very familiar with my case. So let's talk about how you're going to get me off the hook.
Well, I'm afraid it's not quite that easy, Sharon.
Make it easy, Mr. Reed. Because if you don't, I'm going to make it damned hard on you and your son Tony when they put me in that witness box. And I don't think Tony will enjoy Pentridge any more than I enjoy this place, do you?